Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for SUI render and FET price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. Let's see what's going on in those three altcoins. So basically the price is still showing somehow of uncertainty, I would say, between bullish and bearish. We have two possibilities and we are stuck right now in between. So let me explain exactly what's going on here. So basically we are in a potential triangle here for SUI. And in this triangle, because we took the 886 taken here from the A, B, and a C, the wave C, of course, is still above the wave A. And took only the 886 as we can see here. And regarding this, that means, of course, that it might be that we are still in this possible triangle formation here for a wave C, and we might still see a wave D toward the upside. And that might be, of course, not necessarily to take this high, but it might be a very important rebound here for a SUI, which it might be somehow bullish in higher prices. If we dive inside it here, why we are still between two scenarios. So let me explain exactly here. After a wave B, in the top here where you have finished a wave A, you have a wave B. Currently, you're looking at something kind of like an impulse. 1, 2, and then wave 3, potential wave 4, and then wave 5 that it might still be unfolding. And that because, of course, here, in case that you have an impulse as a wave 1, knowing that it looks like a little bit 3 waves here for me, but it can still be, of course, internally a very shallow wave 4 here. Regarding the wave 2, not really alternating, but only in a flat way, but not in the time. And that means, of course, if this is a wave 1 and a wave 2 and a wave 3, and we're looking at a wave 4 without invalidation yet, 2.27 here, we might still be, of course, in a potential wave 5. And this after an A, B, and a C probably here, if we dive inside it, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 impulse here, which is your wave C actually after an A, B, and a C. And of course followed by another leading diagonal here potentially as a wave 1, and we're looking potentially for a wave 2, 3, 4, 5 in case we are bearish yet, or one more low as I mentioned in the video yesterday. So this one more low is still possible, guys, of course, for SUI, but I believe with this one more low it is time, of course, to see a rebound. It's not necessarily to be a bull run like a new all-time high, but it can be, of course, an interesting rebound toward the upside after one more low. So this is a very critical price to be watched here in case we take one more low. Now, in case that the price continue toward the upside without reaching this area, or from this area with the blue box, of course, which it might be here kind of like a leading diagonal. If we want to read it like this, we can, as a wave 1, and we got a wave 2, and this wave 2 has to be an ABC, which it can be, of course, A, B, and a C still, since you have a leading diagonal, and it can still, of course, unfold something toward the upside without taking the low. And that's why we are right now in between two scenarios, right? So one is bearish, one is bullish, and we still need a decision what the price is going to do. How do we know? The key level, of course, is to break this area in case we are bearish. But if the price stays above it and we see, of course, a move toward the upside impulsively again, this might be, of course, a signal that we might move for higher. However, a better confirmation that we're moving to higher is the 2.27 here. The 2.27, by breaking, of course, is this invalidation where the wave 4 is not allowed to interfere with the zone 1. And in this case scenario, only in this case scenario, we can call, of course, a very bullish potential scenario for SUI. So we're going to see, of course, what's going to happen to be watched, this invalidation and for the bullish to move for higher. And of course, this broken level here, or the 886 to be taken, meaning, of course, one more low. But anyway, don't forget that it was one more low. We might retaliate toward the upside again, of course. For SUI, it can be a strong rebound. Now, for render, if we move to render here also, we can see that we are a little bit, of course, also in between two scenarios, bullish and bearish. But what I see today is a very nice signal, potentially. I'm going to explain that it might be, of course, for higher prices. And this, of course, after a potential W, X, and a Y here that we are looking at, it might be, of course, even a bigger W, X, and a Y, where you have 3 ways down, 3 ways up, and you're looking for a structure here to move toward the downside, meaning simply one more low. So if we get one more low after this potential ABC here, which I see it not finished yet, and it might be, of course, moving toward the downside. But in the opposite side, if you have bottomed here for a wave Y, where you can count only this as a potential structure here, W, X, and a wave Y, you can be again in 1, 2, 3, and this might be, of course, a triangle formation for an impulse for a wave 5 to unfold after it. So very, very interesting as well. To watch, of course, this 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we are still, of course, stuck in between two scenarios right now. We need a decision, of course, for those altcoins, which scenario they're gonna choose, right? At the end, of course, the market is gonna decide spontaneously, of course, and every minute the market make a decision. So this is what we're gonna look for. So if we are in a triangle here, right, in this triangle, in an A, B, C, D, and an E, we have to watch this wave E. If we see continuation toward the upside, and we see, of course, this key level as invalidation of triangle, this might be your first signal at 2.76. Your first signal, of course, to move for higher in a wave 5. Especially if we take this level 3.21, this is a potential bull run, of course, toward the upside, can be very likely as well, or a very strong rebound for render here that it might unfold. So very interesting. We're gonna see, of course, what's gonna happen. The market has to decide, I believe, today. We have to see, of course, something, whether we see invalidation for triangle from the top here for bullish, or we see invalidation for the bullish, meaning, of course, one more low here. But again, with one more low, we might see, of course, a very strong rebound toward the upside. FET as well also shows some potentials, the same as render, which is very interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, if this is a wave 5 and you have finished here potential ABC expanding flat and you move one more low, can be possibility in also potential W, X, and a wave Y, somehow the same as render, but I doubt it, guys. Okay, the structure for FET here is a little bit more complicated. I see something here as a potential W finished already there, and you got an X here, and is this a wave Y currently? Yeah, so this is how the transformation of this structure has transformed. So you have 3 waves down, kind of like a very fast move toward the upside in a wave X, and a triangle here, right? So if you zoom in, you will see a triangle, right? A, B, C, D, E. And we drop down here kind of like an impulse, right? You have kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, A, and then B, and you got here kind of like 3 waves. I know it is also complicated, 3 waves, which if you remember that we had a problem with it, like we were expecting one more low, but it moved very fast towards the upside. So maybe this is a rebound that we were looking for, but was one more low. But the market, you know, crypto market is always in a hurry, right? So we see a 1, 2, 3, and currently we still, of course, in a potential triangle as well. So this can still be, of course, something bullish toward the upside, that it might be still unfolding for higher prices. Unless, of course, we see invalidation. Again, this price taken, invalidation of bullish. The price is still currently above it, so we still, of course, have much higher possibility here to move for higher. If we take, of course, this 0.52, well, that will be very interesting, guys. Okay, that will be very interesting because we might, of course, invalidate any kind even of bearish scenario if you case you are in 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. But I doubt it. It's already, I believe, invalidated, because if this is a wave 5, it cannot be anymore. Yeah, so I believe even this possibility is out of the equation here. Only 1, 2 can still be there, maybe a wave 2, meaning you have finished potentially an impulse here, which I doubt it again, but it can be in case that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say this is a wave 1, you might seek after wave 2 and then dropping down. But currently, even with this scenario, we're still looking for higher somehow. For FET, very surprising, right? So very surprising for FET, unless, of course, we take the 0.28. And the market still, of course, not so confident. But what is nice to see here is that we see, of course, kind of like 5 ways up as well. Yeah, so kind of like a diagonal in a 1-2 and potential continuation towards the upside. Even this is a different scenario, which is much more bullish than bearish. So we're gonna see, guys, these are the possibility right now for SUI and render. I see potentially, of course, that we might continue simply toward the upside. The same for SUI, can be, of course, leading diagonal 1-2 and moving for higher, or even maybe taking this blue box and then moving for higher. And even if we take one more low, I believe as well we're gonna rebound really for higher for the altcoins. Not necessarily again as a bull run, but just at least as a strong rebound corrective maybe. We'll see. We'll see, guys. So that was it for SUI, Render, and FT. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.